What's up, adventurers? My name is Platinum Phoenix, and welcome back to Kirby Mass Attack. Last time, we defeated Lady Ivy to escape the desert, and this time, we're going to the resort. And I am so excited. This is by far my favorite world in this game, and it is not even close. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into stage 1. We once again have been brought down to one Kirby, as is what happens when you go to any new world. And I want to be very careful with the fruit that I grab here, because it can be detrimental depending on which ones I grab. I already have 92 on my food gauge, which is nice. Can I go over this? No? Okay, we'll just go inside then. And I want to point out, all of these first 4 levels are going to look very similar at the beginning, and all of them, if you break this block, is where the warp gate is. So we are just going to enter the cannon and fire away. So, welcome to the world of minigames. This first minigame is just catch the fruit that's coming down and bubbles. And the more you catch, the more Kirbys you get to use. And your main goal here is to get at least 5 Kirbys by the end of this, because that is what we need in order to get to the next level. And also not to grab bombs. I missed a big one. Damn it, I missed the big one. And all you have to do is look at the top screen, and it tells you exactly where the bubbles are going to be. Wow, I missed. And there is the first big item that we need, this key. I'm actually going to run over here and grab a bomb, apparently. I'm not doing great right now. Where am I going to go? We need to go over here to get that one. Basically, we're just trying to get as many melons as possible, and that is our first coin. And if you see on the top screen, there is a 10 that we physically cannot get right now. You need 10 Kirbys to stop this. And it is the second coin, so we will have to come back to get that once we get 10 Kirbys. Which isn't the hardest thing to do, if I'm being honest. The Maximato, I wish I would have went for it. And this is the last of the medals for this stage. I know you can't see because of the top screen being the minigame whole thing, but there are only 3 medals in this stage. So we could get 2 on our first visit, and that is the end of the stage. And the first one is the most important one because it is the rainbow medal. And we just need to exit. And no damage, because it's very hard to get damaged on these stages. And now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut and play this first stage a couple of times in order to get to the 5 required Kirbys that we need to do stage 2. So I will be right back. Oh, actually, now that this is just my second time through here, there's a new enemy here. If you see shaking fruit, your Kirby will get hooked on a line, and it works almost exactly the same as the Spideroos. And you just need to put your Kirbys on it, and it pulls down. Well, if you have enough of your Kirbys, it pulls down a new enemy. And I guess we will go over that once we actually see that enemy. But just know that the wiggling fruit is a trap, so if you have less than like 3 Kirbys, avoid the wiggling fruit. But we're just gonna skip ahead now. Alright, it only took me 1 more pass to get up to 7 Kirbys, so it's very easy to grind up to 10 Kirbys if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't actually recommend it, because it's much more fun to do it on stage 2. So, in order to get into stage 2, you need 5 Kirbys, and it'll make much more sense why we need 5 Kirbys in a second. So we are just going to head in. We need another 3 medals in this level. And we have a chain cannon. And like I said, last episode, our last stage, there is the warp gate. But we got a chain cannon that tells us the number of Kirbys we have and then goes up. Welcome to probably my favorite game in this game. We get to play pinball. And you can see on the bottom screen, the 4 Maximatoes that will give you a Kirby every time you hit one, and then the 3 medals we need to get. So we are just going to do most of our power right here. And that should get us a Maximato. And basically, if you get a new Kirby, it just puts it into your cannon, which is why I said it's much more fun to get Kirbys on this level. And once you get one of the items, the space is taken up by the Kirby, so you no longer have to hit that space anymore. And now, I guess we're going for... This looks like it's going to be the coin, the rainbow medal. And you could also just super underpower it in order to get stuff like that medal. And I think we want to shoot like right there in order to get this medal. Where you going, Kirby? Which way? That's the wrong way, Kirby! I think that's just gonna be a dead Kirby. If you miss everything, you don't get anything, obviously. Right about right there. What does this give me? Oh, that... Oh. Well, I was gonna say that gets me the coin. I guess it gets me another Kirby. We'll go with it. That's too much. Or... too much. That, as you can probably tell, this far right Kirby, or far left Kirby, that both of those sound wrong. The far left top Kirby is the hardest, or the medal in the top left is the hardest one to get in this stage because you have to aim so precisely. Is that it? It's too much. Too much still. And it leads us right down the middle once again. So we need to go like right there. Are you kidding me? I missed? At least I got another Kirby out of the deal, but really? Okay, so I've missed what? 3? I have 5 on the stage and I have 2 left. So I have all 10 Kirbys now, I think is what happened. And right there. And that's not enough. If you hit in the middle, you get a Necro DS base, which eats your Kirby and then disappears. So we're going to go right here and hope for... I was going to say hope for a good bounce. Oh, the other thing is, if the Kirbys do manage to bounce all the way back over to the cannon, they just re-enter the cannon. That's too much. And I think it's over. Yep, that's it. Finish! And I only have 9 Kirbys. Interesting. Oh, and here, actually, we can see this enemy. Because we have enough Kirbys to fully pull it down. This is a Turi. They're more like trap enemies, like I said. But if you have enough Kirbys, you can pull on the Kirby that they're trying to pull away and pull them down. They're not particularly dangerous enemies. But I think I'm just going to skip ahead until I'm able to get that medal. There we go. I finally got it. It only took me 3 more attempts at this level. It's a fun level, but 3 times for 1 medal? Alright, now that we are back, something I didn't actually realize. If you land on that Necro DS space, it kills the Kirby. It's just an insta kill spots. So I only have 9 out of 10 Kirby's. But even with that being said, let's head on to stage 3. And you need 2 Kirby's to get in here, but I recommend having as many as possible, just because of how this stage works. And we are just going to I was about to say we are going to enter inside of King Dedede, but yeah. Let's just move on. Show the warp door and fire out of the cannon. And we get to do some star riding. This is probably one of the easier stages in the game, where all you have to do is follow the fruit. And we get our 10th Kirby. And all you have to do is jump with the fruit and avoid the spikes that are all around. And we don't really need the extra fruit now that we have the 10 Kirby's. Also, when you see a ramp, you want to jump off of them because they allow you to fly, and basically all of them will have a medal at the end. And avoid these Gordos because Gordos are bad for a Kirby's health. And yeah, it's a very chill level of just star surfing. Go ahead and fly up here, get to avoid a bunch of Gordos, and get another medal. And I believe there's only 3 medals in this stage. There's 3 or 5, and I believe it's 3, but watch me be wrong immediately. Big Gordo! And we'll fly up here once again. And that is not the rainbow medal, which means we still haven't gotten one. So, there are definitely 5 medals in this stage. Avoid those Gordos. And you can see that oh, I missed it. I also lost a Kirby. I lost 2 Kirby's. I lost 3 Kirby. This is going horribly. That one requires 10. Everything went downhill as soon as I started talking. And of course, you need to have 10 Kirby's in order to get to the 10 Kirby balloon, but wow, that was awful. That probably could not have gone worse. Just leave. And there's another Turi, but we don't need to deal with it. And that's the end of the stage, but we do need to go back to get the last 2 medals. And this is also the stage that allows us into the interior of the resort. Just have to get our rainbow bridge and head to the interior. But before we do that, I'm going to cut ahead until we get to the last 2 ramps. So I will be right back. Alright, we are back. And I am hoping that there is enough. There's not. I'm going to have to do this again. I got hit by a Gordo when my Kirby's refused to jump for some reason. Alright, we are back once again. I have 10 Kirby's. I have made it to the 10 Kirby ramp. Now we can finally see it go all the way through the 10 Kirby's. Or 10 balloons. Also, how does the extra Kirby make it fly farther? Wouldn't the extra weight make it fall faster? But regardless, we got our last medal here. All I care about. Slide up to onto land, and for some reason the star rejects us immediately. And we are just going to finish the stage. Hello, Tari. We do not want to deal with you. And last but not least, we need to go back to stage 1 to get our last medal there. So, I will meet you when we get to that section of the level. Alright, here it comes. Our 10 Kirby bubble. We want to get as many Kirbys on it as quickly as possible without throwing any off, because we need to get all 10 Kirbys on it before it decides to fly away. And that is how you get the last medal of this stage. And also, I find this very funny. If you grab this treasure chest, finish. If you don't have the key, it's just like, it's over. You're done. If you let it fly away, it does the whole waiting and everything. But if you pull it down, it's very funny that it's just like, all right, it's over. And that is stages 1, 2, and 3 of Dedede Resort done. So I think we're gonna call the episode here. I hope that everyone enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Next time, we are going to be playing a couple more mini games. But until then, happy adventuring.